More than just about anything else in our modern world, maps are all around us. Maps are something that people are willing to look at long enough to learn something from and even prompt them to take action. Maps engage, maps inform, maps inspire. If a picture is worth 1,000 words, I submit that a map is worth 1,000 pictures. Maps have always been rich sources of data, communicating a large amount of information in a small amount of space, whether that space was, in the past, stone tablets, in the dirt, on wood blocks, paper, film, and now in digital form, on our tablets, laptops, phones, in our cars, on our buses, and in our neighborhoods. How many of you have lots of paper maps at home? I do. Paper maps are useful, but limited. We cannot easily update them, add information to them, or change their scale. They aren't easily transported or folded. Today's digital maps, by contrast, are much more useful, mobile, and versatile. They are revolutionizing how we navigate our world, how we understand our world, and how we can better enable our world for the future. Paper maps are still handy in the field, though, because technology can fail. Maps don't just tell us where things are, but help us understand why they are where they are. Why do hurricanes, for example, occur where they do? Why do landslides occur more frequently along certain slopes and with certain aspects, which is the direction of slope? How high are the floodwaters down the street from my home right now? Why are invasive species like zebra mussels spreading in these directions and not other directions? Today's maps are not just graphics floating around in cyberspace. They are tied to a powerful computer database, a geodatabase, a geographic information system. The U.S. Department of Labor identified 3 fast-growing key hot fields for the 21st century: biotechnology, nanotechnology, and geotechnologies. Geotechnologies include GIS, Geographic Information Systems, GPS, Global Positioning Systems, remote sensing, and web mapping. GIS is like an elevator. It works behind the scenes. You don't think about it, you just use it. GIS ensures that your phone got assembled with the right parts, supply chain management. GIS enables your package to get delivered to you and millions of others today in the safest, most fuel-efficient manner possible. GIS allows you to pull up an app that says, Bus F will be at your stop in Vail in 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Let's examine the world's plate boundaries, volcanoes, and the last 30 days of earthquakes, asking the whys of where questions as we investigate. What are the reasons for these patterns? What is the relationship between earthquake locations and magnitude? What is the relationship of earthquake locations and depth? What is the relationship of earthquake locations to volcanoes and to plate boundaries? How many major cities are within 50 kilometers of these earthquakes? How many occur in the oceans? Why should we care about that? Tsunamis. We live in a 3D world, so it makes sense that we've created 3D GIS tools. Here I've symbolized magnitudes of earthquakes as cylinders popping out of the earth. Let's investigate population characteristics now, demographics, at scales from national to local. Median age, blue, older, red, younger. Why is Maine older than Texas? Scale matters. When we enlarge the scale, we see different patterns. Why are the Great Plains older than the West? And now at the census tract or neighborhood level, why is this neighborhood in Vail older than those to the north and to the west? We can add other variables, including those that are crowdsourced, such as median income or commuting patterns, to plan effective services, housing, transportation. The goal? Sustainable communities. We are asking a lot of questions, aren't we? A good map teaches you to ask a better question. Let's map where everyone attending this TED Talk is from. Is this the pattern that you expected? Thanks to a web GIS called ArcGIS Online, this took me all of 5 minutes to create and to share. What would be in your top 10 list of serious challenges facing our world? Water quality and quantity, natural hazards, climate, crime, energy, migration, political instability, human health, economic inequality, biodiversity loss. They all have a geographic component. Hence, they can be better understood using GIS. We can use our whys of where investigations to solve these global problems that increasingly affect our everyday lives. Here, the CDC is using GIS to examine the pattern of health variables, not just to treat patients, but to build wellness. By applying GIS to solve problems in an ever-expanding number of disciplines, maps through GIS are becoming the common language of the planet. Even in your local government, zoning working with assessors, transportation, parks and recreation, around a common set of map data. The goal? A smart city. But data and technology are only two parts of it. For people to effectively use these tools, we need a population that can think spatially and critically, that have been immersed in deep and rich field experiences, that can think holistically and across disciplinary boundaries. Think of your last geography course. It may bring back memories of mind-numbing memorization. What are the major exports of Peru? The capital of North Dakota. Conversely, it may have sparked your interest in the world. I hope this was your experience. But if geography is fundamental to understanding our world through these mapping tools, why is geography so neglected? Our high-stakes, assessment-focused, subject-divided school system leaves little room for the type of problem-based learning that GIS is a part of. That's what these native students and I were doing on the Santo Domingo Pueblo. In a semi-arid region where soil is a precious resource, they measured gully erosion rates with GIS and GPS. But by working closely with faculty, students, parents, and administrators, schools are now using web-based mapping and field apps in history, geography, language arts, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics classrooms. The education community needs your help in turning these thousands of schools that I've mapped here that are using GIS into tens of thousands of schools. Geo-mentoring is one way to assist a school in their use of mapping technologies. Your expertise in advocating for and modeling deep learning in schools, after-school clubs, and universities is needed. Maps are the whys of where. Maps are more relevant than ever before. Will you be a champion for mapping and spatial analysis in education and society? How do I end this talk? I don't. You do.